Shout out to Gamer G for sending me this story. And this is coming out of Chesterfield County, Virginia. Now, this is a very interesting right here. And I want to see if Palm Color going to get outraged about this. So in this picture, you see a man by the name of George Bushman. He is a questionable 34. And he killed an Army vet. The Army vet was a white male. And they said they killed him. He was a father of 3 and they killed him at a Wawa. Well, guess what? He was found not guilty by reason of insanity. I said, here they go with that mental illness, insanity thing again. But like I said, what makes this interesting is the fact that this was a white guy that killed an Army vet and he managed to get away from doing this. There are times when you will have a palm-colored individual who will kill their own Army vet or not, and they will manage to get away with murder. And he said by reason of insanity. Let me go ahead and read this article. The man accused of gunning down an Army veteran and father of 3 outside of Chesterfield, Wawa in January has been found not guilty. George Bushman, age 34, faced a total of 6 charges, including first-degree murder. He was found not guilty on all charges Monday by reason of insanity. Bushman was accused of shooting and killing 34-year-old Robert Gooch IV outside of the Wawa on Otterdale Road on January 8th. Gooch's daughter was also with him at the time of the shooting, so they were the same age. Bushman and Gooch didn't know each other. Gooch completed several tours in Afghanistan and was just days away from retirement when he was murdered. Bushman had a lengthy criminal history, which includes drug charges and violation of a protective order. He was released from jail in December and arrested for this murder just 20 days later. So this guy just got out of jail for other charges, only to go back out into society and kill somebody, 20 days later, go back into jail, plead insanity, and get found not guilty so y'all can send him back out into the world for a 3rd time? This is the society that we are in today. And Professor Black Truth just did a video about some updates with Connor Betts. And he basically said in so many words, because I can't remember it all, that white males in particular, they don't have to be held accountable because they never were held accountable. They are some of the most non-held accountable people on the planet, especially in the establishment known as the United States of America. That is exactly why they continue to get away with the stuff that they continue to get away with. Every other group, for the most part, is held accountable for their actions, especially black men. Hell, we're held accountable for actions of stuff we didn't even do. But that palm-colored male, don't get me to start listing by name and by crime in which they have committed that should have them in jail right now. It says the 34-year-old gunman's sister, Ruth Bushman, says her brother's trouble stemmed from mental illness. She's getting on code, y'all. She says he was always a little bit off and at one point was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Listen, if he actually has a mental illness like they claim, why didn't they get him help? See, that's another thing. I also put blame on the family. If the family knows that their loved one has a mental illness or some kind of ailment that causes them to not function well with others in society, you need to put them in a place where they can be with someone for hours on end per day to help them function and get more merged in with society. Don't just throw them back out there. You see what they just did? He was locked up for other charges. They got out, and 20 days later, not even a month later, he killed somebody. For them to release him back after they said from a plea of insanity. So y'all literally just put a killer back out there on the loose for him to kill again. That's why I say this whole so-called justice system is very backwards. we know what it is for us, but it's a very backwards, warped thing. It's like, what's the end game here? So he can go out there and kill somebody else just to come back there, plead insanity again, and then you're going to release him back out into the wild a fourth time. The reason why he keeps doing this is because he's never known true punishment. He's never been held accountable. He doesn't have any consequences. All I'm going to say is this. Hopefully y'all get a good look at this man's face. Steer clear of him. Just in case you happen to come across someone who even remotely looks like him, go the other way. Or stay strapped. Because I know VA is I think VA is an open carry state. So yeah, just be careful out there. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you in the next one.